just kind of play their game.
Yeah, you can see Hauntzer not really feeling the pressure quite yet as he's yawning coming onto the stage, getting nice and ready, and as you can tell...
So relaxed,
yeah.
It's just another game, nothing special about here. And the big thing that they were talking about, that it doesn't matter, this was in their show, it doesn't matter if they lose, right? They can't be playing with that inherent risk of messing up, because then you're playing not to mess up instead of playing to win. And it's very important that you play to win. And that, in a split sense, could also be one of the reasons Team Impulse was able to win with their substitutes, because there was nothing to lose and no one expected anything of them. Yet as soon as they come in with their main roster, they think, all right, we did 3-3 with the subs, now we're going to really take off, and they lost their first 2 games.
Yeah, it's the underdog mentality. And the question is, TSM have typically had the top dog mentality. Well, now they need to change that up. As you can see, we're in picks and bans. Syndra, Callista, Lulu, of course, Bjergs, Syndra, and Lulu stricken off the board. Nidalee taken away from Procxin along with Gangplank and Poppy.
Yeah, that does leave up the Graves, though, which wouldn't be a shocking first pick. Already locked in for Team Impulse. Feng actually had that in the top lane against Energy last week and nearly carried the game with it if he didn't get caught out of position so much later in the game. 7 kills on that top lane Graves. It also blocks Svenskeren from taking to the jungle.
We'll see if Feng can pull that off as TSM are looking for their next 2. And there is a lot of pressure on TIP to take this because, you know, now they've got their full roster. They want to try to break this momentum and try to pull up from their 3-5 standings, trying to get themselves further in.
Right, and if they win this game, they're going to be tied with Team Liquid, which is right in the middle of the pack where they want to be and even in contention for a playoff spot. So Gate always talks about the team wanting to not be underestimated. Well, that happens if you continue to win, especially halfway into the season.
We'll see if they can quite pull that. TSM, they're going to take Corki and Alistar for YellowStar.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see that Corki go mid lane or bottom lane. It is something DoubleLift actually plays a lot of. If we were to see a team, I almost feel like the mid lane is Corki's default now, but if we were to see a team still taking on AD carry, I think it would be DoubleLift because his Corki has been heavily practiced lately. And it would also continue to leave Bjergsen open for counterpicking, which is something that TSM does more than any other team, at least in the 2015 summer split.
Yeah, definitely on the red side, something we're going to be looking for Bjergsen. Now Ezreal being covered along with Bard for Team Impulse. Don't know if that's going to be mid or AD carry, but
yeah,
we'll see where it ends up going as Bard is locked in for Gate.
Exactly. You've seen sparing amounts of Ezreal mid lane, mostly in the bottom lane, and it is a MASH favorite, especially with how safe he likes to play. He only has 1 game on Ezreal so far this year, but it is something he's played plenty of in the past, and it's looking like a nice poke team so far with 2 marksmen already locked in and some nice maybe follow-up engage from a Bard ultimate.
Hauntzer going to be taking Fiora in the top lane along with Kindred, the duo locked in for Svenskeren. I feel like this is a composition we've seen them run before. You know, Svenskeren, he's had some pretty excellent Lambs respites in the past. Oh.
No, I would agree with you. With that on the Kindred, we're going to see a Jhin? Yeah. Probably not. It's just a hover. But yeah, absolutely, the Kindred for Svenskeren. Aggressive jungler is what they've been looking for him to do. They want him to be able to kind of take over games and end them quickly, which is something that Kindred can do specifically well if you get ahead with it.
Final 2 pickups for Team Impulse are Nautilus. Not going to be locked in. Could be jungle, could be top, depending on where you want that Graves. And LeBlanc, Pirean, making a statement. I see you, Bjergsen.
Yeah.
I know you're looking pretty strong in this champion, but I'm going to challenge you.
Yeah, LeBlanc is something that's difficult to kind of pick against. You can just throw the Corki in here, so now we're going to see the finality of TSM's composition, whether or not they want the Corki in the mid lane or throw him down bottom, and they're not even worried about being too heavy in magic damage because they already have the Fiora locked in, so no real problems thus far for the TSM composition. And I do have to agree with you, it's great the jungle there for Team Impulse. Unless they really want to mess with us and go Nautilus jungle.
Swap things around a bit. And, taking a page out of GBM's book, it's Zilean locked in for TSM.
Yeah, well, they were the victims to GBM's Zilean 19 times to 0 kills for TSM. They are down 19 kills to 0 in that game. And yeah, that's what I was talking about when they can throw Corki in the bottom lane. And this will enable Svenskeren and Hauntzer to go harder in fights. And it makes it pretty difficult for Team Impulse to get the right kills down, since not only do they have the Kindred ultimate to prevent death, they also have the Zilean ultimate. It'll make grouping up pretty advantageous if they're able to get all those revives together.
And this is something that we expect from TSM. They play well together. That's something that they've been focused on improving over the course of these past few weeks. For them, it's all about teamwork and cohesion, making sure they've got clear communication.
Yeah, well, they're going to need clear communication if they want this team composition to work right, because you have to be very careful not to be doubling up the Zilean ultimate with the Kindred ultimate. So everyone will have to be vocal against the LeBlanc as well, who's going to be forcing those spells if Pirean gets any type of lead here.
Yeah, tricky situation, but don't forget to send your votes to @LOLEsports with the hashtag TIPWin or hashtag TSMWin to let us know who you think is going to end up taking the victory. Will it be Team Impulse taking a win off of the once fabled Kings TSM, or is it TSM returning to that glory that they once had?
Well, even with TSM having an off week last week, they still won both games.
They did.
And Team Impulse still ended up 0-2, so I definitely think TSM is the favorite. And even though TSM hasn't shown strong things in the LCS, everyone still expects them to be able to improve, so maybe that starts here.
Yeah, we have now loaded onto the Rift. Team Impulse versus TSM. And everyone's dashing out of the Bates gates. You can hear the crowd. They're ready. They're excited.
Seems like there's a very loud group in the audience, but it's not the whole audience as we used to see sometimes, so trying to cheer these TSM guys on and get them ready. But for TSM this game, it is going to be all about the focus.
See where that is for them. 5 members of Impulse are grouped. They're heading top, hugging the wall to avoid vision. Hauntzer, he's going to see it and respond, drops a ward, and dashes to safety. Whoa.
Oh, those guys are really into the shouting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Team Impulse just doing a 5-man invade, but the defensive line, so to speak, holds for Team Solomid, and Hauntzer is able to dash away without burning summoners. As is standard, when you have the defensive line and you see 5 people going in, it means whoever you have positioned on the other side of the map will also get deep wards. So it guarantees, assuming you're paying attention to your screen, a mirrored setup, as now both teams have deep wards.
Yeah, DoubleLift and YellowStar going for some deep wards. Even spending a bit of time sightseeing in the enemy jungle. As he looks to start bottom, actually heading down to the Krug camp.
Yeah, well, this could be an interesting little wrinkle. YellowStar should just be hiding in that brush because they could either wait to stop someone from doing the Krugs, or they're just going to take the Krugs themselves. But this is clever because they have called the lane swap here. Oh, wow. They're actually trying to harass the red, and it's a very non-standard start to have them starting at Raptors, but TSM's actually going to catch them here.
Yeah, they're looking for it. YellowStar finds it. No level 2 from anyone. Feng is the target. Chunked to half, 300 health. He's healing as best he can. No summoner spells burnt just yet. Ooh, patient play.
Wow. Really patient there from Feng, knowing that he could save his flash in case DoubleLift were to get his Phosphorus Bomb back up. And also, Procxin was able to save his Smite to get the Raptors. Still very surprised that they would start Raptors of all camps, but TSM catches them there. Don't really gain any advantages, though. Unable to steal significant CS or get a kill.
That's DoubleLift and YellowStar, scaring Procxin and Feng out of their jungle. Svenskeren and Hauntzer, however, already well on their way with the double jungle. Not even spotted out by Gate, who went for an invade on the top side, and now they're going to look for a few clears of their own. Might be stealing this red away as well.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be really important to track how much farm Feng can get, because if Feng does fall behind Hauntzer, it's going to be a very punishing split push game there. We saw COG earlier with Darshan's Fiora against a Malphite, who takes a very long time for that matchup to really turn. Against Nautilus, that matchup can turn much earlier if Hauntzer can get ahead, and if TSM wants to play the split push game, they would be set up to do so.
As is expected, junglers and top laners catching up with everyone else to find the minion waves and try to look for some early turret trades as the lane swap is executed very cleanly from Team Solomid, answered on the other side by Team Impulse. They should be able to get this tier 1, leaving Pirean and Bjergsen up to their own devices in the mid lane.
Cute little Valkyrie there by DoubleLift, actually, to get all the damage. Valkyrie does a substantial amount of damage. You just never use it offensively. The burn does 60 magic damage per second, which is surprising at rank 1.
Pretty solid. The tier 1 goes down bottom. Team Impulse just a few seconds behind. They're going to be able to get one of their own, but that leaves Hauntzer bottom with a minion wave and just a bit of free time. Feng, he's pretending to be a turret himself.
Yeah, I almost feel like their wave is too large to actually be able to bounce back. So either Team Impulse has to shove this all the way in, or they're going to give a lot of farm to DoubleLift. Oh, if Procxin just doesn't finish his recall, he can kill
surprise!
DoubleLift.
He's found him.
Shoot him back!
Luckily, the A move is going to get the auto attack, but Procxin doesn't pull the trigger.
Oh my goodness, the blind check there by DoubleLift actually could have been punished if Team Impulse was laying in wait for it because their wave wasn't going to bounce properly. But instead, Procxin is afraid because there are so many people missing on the map and was thinking he himself was getting collapsed on him. DoubleLift just is able to go up to this lane and get a bunch of farm. This will be a bit of a farm advantage for TSM, actually. And now they can already set up the push in the top lane, so Team Impulse won't be able to catch the wave at their turret. If TSM gets the proper position inside the jungle here, they're going to end up just losing that turret as well.
Yeah, TSM currently looking for a few deep wards, going to steal this Gromp camp away as well. They might be able to take that tier 1. However, Hauntzer did just complete his recall. Doesn't want to take any chances that Team Impulse could collapse on him.
Yeah, I think there was an opportunity there for TSM to be ahead on the play of Team Impulse and actually send YellowStar back to base, run him all the way to the bottom lane, sit in turret with Fiora, and prevent a 2 or 3 man dive there, and just then also have free damage on the top lane. But instead, they're going with a more standard trade as Pirean gets aggressive in mid.
Ooh, double bomb finds Pirean. Ignite is ticking away. Flash, Pirean's got one of his own, but he's going to let Bjergsen go with only a warning.
Yeah, well, that's still a good trade. Flash for Ignite. Bjergsen might choose to teleport back to lane, but his mid lane is actually going to get pushed pretty hard by Procxin, who's rotated there, so Bjergsen will have to burn his teleport right now.
Yeah, he's using it to try to catch up to the wave. In fact, going to the minion. Pirean with level 6 dodges the bomb, and Bjergsen is going to catch most of these. Meanwhile, the bottom tier 1 continuing to take pressure from Team Impulse. DoubleLift. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, they're both low, but there is no danger there because they already saw everyone on Team Impulse. And Svenskeren does not respect the fact that Gate and Procxin are missing on the map, but still pushes them out. Impulse has been so respectful when TSM base check into them so far this game on 2 occasions.
Yeah, and now the bottom tier 1 is going to be dropped as well. Looks like we might see some face checking in the mid lane as Gate looks for a gank with Procxin. Could be trying to hunt Bjergsen down, but he's level 6.
Yeah. Well, they know he's without a flash. So if Pirean could land a chain, they would be able to kill.
Oh, here they go, pulling the trigger off.
Or just a wall stun with Bart.
Ooh, Bjergsen sends a good warning and gets out just fine.
Yeah, Gate not perfect on his execution there. He does take the magical journey through, but then he throws his Q onto 2 minions instead of through to Bjergsen. And then Procxin and Gate both get caught in the double stun. So a nice avoidance there by Bjergsen. That's a 3-man investment to the mid lane, and he only lost a small amount of health and really almost no minions.
Now that that's all said and done, we see Svenskeren continuing to farm up in the jungle. Hauntzer actually in the top to match Mash as Bjergsen continues to take punishment from Pirean. That's the strength of LeBlanc.
Whoa, nice juke. Yeah, Bjergsen's really going to need to have a big mid-game power spike when he finishes his Rod of Aegis here because Pirean is getting a lot of pressure out in the mid lane, which is something that TSM's not used to playing around as if Bjergsen's getting pushed in. His farm is still good, so that's fine, but they should be trying to make some plays elsewhere or try and punish Pirean for distorting forward so aggressively so frequently.
Yeah, Team Impulse show 3 members in the top lane looking for the tier 2 DoubleLift. So far, the only one in the bottom. Here's a ward and teleport. Hauntzer's coming. He's caught out. Riposte is used. He's going to have to be careful on that top side. He gets out just fine, and Feng uses his flash to escape again.
Yeah, mirrored plays on both sides here. It's just the jungler who actually isn't involved with Svenskeren still farming through the jungle. Team Impulse goes really aggressively to stop the teleport where they're going to attempt to dive onto Feng, and luckily for Hauntzer, he wasn't completely tunneled on where he was going and is able to riposte after they interrupt the TP to not take a bunch of damage, but it will still be a turret trade.
2 tier 2s go down, 3 to 3 in turrets, but TSM are ahead by about 500 gold.
All right, turret trade.
Yeah.
Woo! The same thing happened on both sides.
Svenskeren once again going to invade the red as DoubleLift gets some punishment from Feng. Feng's actually starting to suffer quite a bit in this trade. He's down to level 2 Hauntzer, only at 9 CS to the 20.
Yeah, finally though, TSM is taking advantage of their tempo advantage because they could overstay there. Svenskeren cleared out the jungle of Team Impulse, and then Team Impulse a little bit later does take it on the other side. So actually not a huge gain really made. And most of the gold would be coming from Hauntzer having more farm from Feng, which can channel all the way back to the very start of the game, where he was pushed back a bit at Raptors.
Mash now shows himself in the bottom, forces the recall from Feng. Once again, denied CS by that AD carry. And blue buff handed over to Bjergsen in the mid lane as Svenskeren. Oh,
yeah. Bomb does enough
calculated,
damage.
calculated.
Wouldn't want the red buff to take it away there.
Yeah,
Actually, to point out, the CS difference on Feng is probably more about the bad wave bounce very early on in the top lane, and that's what's showing through. But huge amounts of turret trading happening thus far.
TSM are looking for a play. DoubleLift has the package. As Svenskeren and Yellow look for a bit of a pick. Yeah, Team Impulse get the heck out of dodge.
Yeah, they had flash up on Alistar as well, so they could have attempted a play. But Gate goes out of there really quickly. Still a little bit of hesitancy, but no reason for TSM to overstay. They do know they're accumulating a big advantage for Hauntzer over Feng, and they can see that in-game just by pressing tab.
Oh, TSM actually show bottom once again. Hauntzer continuing to farm up, just focusing so much on denying Feng. Bjergsen continues to take punishment from Pirean. Gotta be careful for when that Mimic comes back up.
Absolutely. He does have his ultimate if he's able to use it properly, but no magic resist whatsoever in Bjergsen's rune page, which is very greedy against LeBlanc. So far, like, he's actually getting away with it. We see him taking a bunch of damage, but he is up in CS and has consistently just been able to teleport back to lane after getting harassed down.
Yeah,
as we see again.
After finishing off his Rod of Ages, he's going to catch this wave while TSM managed to secure Dragon #1. Team Impulse don't quite have vision of the pit. I'm pretty sure they know something sneaky's going on. There he goes. Finally pulls the spite as YellowStar leads the charge. Not level 6. He goes down first blood. Mash. Procxin in the lines. Got to dash out. Svenskeren provides chase. He's level 7. Does have the land press, but stunned against the wall. True shot barrage. Double kill. Mash. Bjergsen zones Pirean away, but here comes Hauntzer. Teleporting in from behind. He finds Pirean. Gets the revenge kill. He's got to be careful. Mash over the wall. He's got no backup. Here's a teleport from Feng.
Geez, multiple people dying there, and no Kindred ultimate thrown up to save either Svenskeren or YellowStar. Team Impulse, like I said, they're consistently a little bit slow to the plays, but they're still able to get something back. The 2 kills, I think, do kind of make up for the Dragon, even though Hauntzer picked one up. Mainly, unless TSM cleans up their play, they're leaving themselves open to these plays.
Here's a breakdown.
Yeah, so YellowStar is really far ahead, and Svenskeren had to smite that down, but he could still throw down his Lamb's Spite any time here. Procxin bursts him really quickly, which is surprising, and maybe TSM thought they were going to kill, which is why he didn't put it down. But then Team Impulse just returned a good amount of damage. Mash channels his ultimate right in the face of Svenskeren, who I think was stunned from Bard at the time. And then here, Bjergsen is just zoning over the wall. Not a good TP by Feng, actually. He should have used that time to get farm after Hauntzer teleported down.
You can see he's down about 30 CS right now. Hauntzer is continuing to put pressure, does have that first kill as well, so just trying to increase his gold advantage over that. Finally, Feng might catch some CS in the bottom lane as Mash heads top.
Yeah, and I want to look at Mash and his ability to kind of carry a little bit this game. He's had a pretty bad season statistically thus far. He has the lowest damage percentage for his team, as well as the lowest damage per minute of LCS AD carries. And the fact that he has 100% of Team Impulse's kills so far, and also the most gold of anyone in this game on Blue Ezreal, who can stay pretty safe and carry games. This is his moment to try and carry the game and avoid any CC that TSM throws his way.
Yeah, especially on Blue Ezreal. He's the guy who's going to do lots of damage. A little bit of Ward Wars going on. Procxin dashes forward. Just zones away TSM with a bit of poke. 4 members of Team Impulse, now 5. TSM answer with 5 of their own. Guys, it's still Rift Herald. It's not Baron yet.
You still want it, though, because whoever gets Rift Herald can get those empowered minions and maybe make a strong push. Mid lane turrets are still standing, even though they've traded as well as 2 deep on the top and the bottom lanes.
Gate finds a bit of harass onto YellowStar. Again, everyone's grouped up, but nobody wants to take any chances committing into the enemy team. There's a lot of damage on both sides.
Yeah, and you have to be very hesitant with the way you commit, especially if you're Team Impulse, because TSM has the Kindred ultimate and the Zilean ult to kind of stuff an attempted assassination, so they don't want to overcommit.
Flash knock-up, he's looking for gate, but this could be a lot of damage. Throws the will just a bit too early. It's going to wear off. There goes the Tempered Fate. Are they going to be able to catch YellowStar? True Shot Barrage finds some good damage as Mash collapses. But Team Impulse cannot pursue down the choke.
I believe YellowStar flashed without Pulverize, but was unable to headbutt backwards on gate, so a missed opportunity there, but they're trying to continue the pressure forward.
DoubleLift chunk to half, has to jump away, and Team Impulse defend the tier 1. But TSM aren't done just yet. They've still got the Lamb's Respite. They've still got the Chrono Shift on Bjergsen. Can they whittle it down?
Yeah, well, LeBlanc is back in base, so they don't have any immediate threat, and they can still zone with the Zilean bombs, which makes this push very promising.
Yeah, the mid-tier 1 going low. TSM, take it down. 4 turrets to 3.
The first little power play they have been able to pull off.
Just finding the right amount of harass onto the right people.
Yeah, and honestly, Bjergsen having a 27 CS advantage over Pirean is very impressive considering how much punishment he was taking in that lane, but he's been able to teleport back in the lane at the right times, and Pirean has just missed farm during that 5-man group from TSM in the mid lane. So TSM is able to start pulling ahead ever so slightly in this game against Team Impulse.
Yeah, just a small gold lead so far, but that's how it starts. Right now, though, TSM look like they've also got the fan lead.
Yeah, not a surprise
And
there.
that's what matters in the end.
Is it? I think winning is what matters. Oh, jeez.
Oh! Great package ride from DoubleLift. I half expected Feng to follow him.
Yeah, just like when Poppy ult hits the Nautilus,
yeah.
You can just fly right back to it. The package interaction is a little bit different. It looks like DoubleLift was able to start channeling the package right before the hook hit it, so it wasn't one of those hook interrupting a move block thing. It was the hook hit, and then he was able to package away. And Nautilus will only go to the halfway point of when his hook lands, kind of regardless of where the target goes or where he goes. Once he lands the hook, like his destination has been decided. It doesn't get modified by anything else.
TSM looking for a bit of a death push.
They're looking for a lot of baits this game. And it's because Team Impulse has been behind the tempo. Like, this has been a cleaner game for TSM for the most part when compared to last week. And we're only 16 minutes in. It's all going to be about avoiding mistakes and not giving windows for Team Impulse to make big plays.
And that's a lot of what TSM struggled with last week. Trying to find the right plays, they just couldn't find the opportunities without making mistakes of their own. So far, this game has been very clean. They're not taking too many chances as Rift Herald is being secured. Yeah,
there's been a few missteps by YellowStar, if anything. He's the only death, and then he flashed for a Pulverize and wasn't able to execute on the play. But he's gone for Distortion Boots very early, so you can tell he is planning to be the one to flash initiate and have everyone else follow with him. Because it's not like there's much initiate elsewhere on TSM. Maybe if Bjergsen lands a double bomb, then they can follow with some damage. Whereas if you're looking at the Team Impulse side, they'll have a blue build Ezreal who can catch people with poke and slows, Gate with Bard ultimates, LeBlanc with solo plays, Feng with all those things. TSM is just yellow.
Yeah, speaking of YellowStar, he's taken quite a bit of damage, but Team Impulse can't bring him down just yet. It's a little bit of a harass, finds him. He should be able to heal himself just fine. And Team Impulse are going to scare them away. TSM, though, making very confident swings towards the top lane now. Could be looking for that tier 2. Bjergsen's on his way as well. True Shot Barrage finds the minion wave. Bjergsen's got to set up these bombs right as Team Impulse look to collapse.
Right, and there's a level 10 Fiora split pushing, so either Chip has to fight now and force the teleport, or they're going to be victims to the split push.
Oh, Bjergsen's collapsed on. There goes the Tempered Fate. It's going to lock him down. Bjergsen is so low, brought to half, and goes down to Feng. YellowStar suddenly too far forward, knocks Feng back. But Team Impulse look for the chase. There's the Iceborne Gauntlet. Will the slow be able to find him long enough? YellowStar goes low. YellowStar goes down. Feng with a double kill.
And that's the window Team Impulse was waiting for. Bjergsen took a path where the rest of the team couldn't back him up. And again, TSM fails to use their revives. They did not Kindred all over the wall. Bjergsen was chain stunned, could not self-cast it. They are not backing each other up in a team that really needs them to communicate and be able to trust that you can get the spells off. They lose 2 in that fight, and Team Impulse stays close in the game.
Yeah, they're up in kills right now, but still down in gold. Team Impulse capitalizing on the mistake from TSM.
Yeah, really just got to track the type of chain CC they get onto Bjergsen. So he's Bard ulted. It actually hurts the damage from the Nautilus ult, but then as soon as he revives, Looks like he's Bard stunned into the wall, so he can't self-cast. Svenskeren would have had to put the Kindred ultimate over the wall to prevent that from being the case. And then they could have allowed Bjergsen to flash over afterwards. Really, just don't allow the chain stun to kill you, but instead back him up with the Kindred ultimate and they would have been fine. In the end, though, they burned their teleport advantage, which now is in the side of Team Impulse, and give up 2 kills.
TSM, once again, making slight mistakes that are costing them. Team Impulse with their full roster, looking rather comfortable with their communication and coordination, at least in that they can respond and take advantage of openings when given.
Yeah, this is just looking so similar to the 2 TSM games that were played last week between Fox and Renegades, where they continually leave the door open for the other team to come back. Even though TSM is getting their laning advantages, they just can't capitalize on them. Now it's 1 Dragons to 1. They're trying to make a push mid lane. They're actually getting collapsed on from the backside.
Yeah, Team Impulse collapse. Tempered Fate finds Sven over the side. Pirean gets knocked up. He's going to be able to hop away. No, he does not quite yet. There goes Svenskeren. Lands Respite as Hauntzer zones Mash over the wall. Sven might go down as the Respite wears out. No, the Chrono Shift keeps him standing. He's got Flash and is able to escape thanks to a great stun from Bjergsen.
This time they're able to use the revive and they actually win the fight as a result. But do they continue the push? Team Impulse makes the collapse, doesn't get a kill. They spend all of their spells there. Now the push comes back from TSM.
TSM once again being the primary playmakers in this game. Hauntzer dives forward, nets a kill onto Procxin. Team Impulse try to punish, but they only lose their tier 2.
Procxin dying with Graves' ultimate up. Can also use that spell as an escape, so nice burst of damage. But Feng behind them with teleport.
Feng is trying to join the fight. He's chunked down to almost no health. DoubleLift lands the rocket. He's looking for another flash rocket. DoubleLift shut down.
Woo. Really questionable call there by Team Impulse. Teleporting in behind TSM, a man down. So they're actually forcing a 4v5. Yes, TSM was low, but they can still pump out the damage. And really, where are they expecting the damage follow-up to come from? Oh.
True Shot Barrage is going to miss. And nope, didn't quite hit him in the fountain either. It really creates a difficult situation for Team Impulse.
Yeah, watching this fight again, we see the kill from Hauntzer as the turret is getting finished. But so the teleport was coming in as the fight was happening. TSM was faking the dive, and Feng just doesn't cancel. That's a teleport you absolutely should cancel. Then the rest of the tip tries to come in to follow, but you can see the damage just isn't there. Mash and Pirean are both already very low, and it's a full health Zilean and full health Corki. DoubleLift even able to flash forward to get the kill with a nice missile over the wall. But all in all, none of that happens if Feng doesn't teleport in behind the team.
When Team Impulse make a mistake, TSM take a tier 2 and net a few kills. But when TSM make a mistake, Team Impulse get even. Sounds like a proverb. Svenskeren has to jump away from Team Impulse as they clear some vision. 22 minutes in means Baron is up. Nobody wants to take any chances just yet. DoubleLift has his package available.
Yeah, but it's mainly the split push. This is the strength that TSM should have been playing on for even the last 5 minutes, because it's been evident, even without the Black Cleaver being completed, Hauntzer is unstoppable 1v1, and they need to consistently use that. Now that his teleport is up again, either Team Impulse would have to force on them, or they risk just losing their inhibitor and the game on the split push.
Scary situation for TSM. Split pushing requires so much coordination and communication, something that they have specifically been working on. If they can pull this off, this would speak much to their growth as a team over the split. Bjergsen, whoa, takes a bit of punishment. Chain is going to find him.
Whoops.
Yeah, Pirean, that wasn't the right button. Svenskeren comes from the side, however.
Well, the pre-fight has been pretty nice poke, but the rest of Team Impulse isn't quite there yet. Feng doesn't want to leave Fiora to split push, and TSM rightfully backs away because they would have been in danger of getting engaged on.
Yeah, Mash continue to catch some creeps in the mid lane. Down just a bit behind DoubleLift when it's all said and done, but participating in the kills. 100% kill participation, 2-0-2, along with Procxin. So Team Impulse, we are seeing some growth out of Mash, taking a high damage build and contributing in this game.
He's been able to pick up the kills. We'll have to check the damage afterwards as well, because that's mainly where he's been lacking. He's playing too safe and not getting in on the fights. Here, though, is exactly when he would need to get aggressive with his Iceborne and Mirror Mana completed. But it will be very difficult if Hauntzer and TSM play this properly, because they have Hauntzer who cannot be 1v1. He needs to be collapsed on with 2, and he still currently holds a teleport advantage. So this is a huge window of power for TSM, where they're going to want to use their sweepers, clear out vision around this Baron, and actually make a positive play happen. But whenever they've been setting that up, Pirean has actually been the one chunking people down and pulling TSM off of the play.
Yeah, TSM are flexing that power very effectively for the time being. As you mentioned, preparing for Baron by clearing vision. Hauntzer has his teleport, but Feng doesn't have his for about 30 seconds, so TSM have a window of opportunity. How they capitalize on it is a different matter entirely. Gromp is going to be stolen, continuing to fight out the wards for Team Impulse.
Yeah, it's still very hard this season to bait Baron with blue trinkets, but there are 2 Farsight totems on Team Impulse. They have no Frost Queen's Claim, even though that can be a common item on LeBlanc. Pirean decided to forego that buy for an earlier power spike, but he is through that point now and is actually sorely missing the Frost Queen's Claim, which would be very good for scouting. Although it's not like TSM is baiting the Baron very aggressively. Instead, actually, they've collapsed Hauntzer over early.
Yeah, they might be looking for this tier 2 as Hauntzer goes towards the mid lane to zone away Mash. Bjergsen, misses the stun and gets a bait. But Pirean lands on the bomb. He's stunned out, and Svenskeren follows up for the kill. Here comes the teleport from Feng. Hauntzer's looking to collapse as well. He's by the wolf camp right now. Depth charge is going to find a lot of knockups. Svenskeren gets chunked low. There's no chrono shift. He goes down as YellowStar trying to be the tank his team needs. Hauntzer can't quite find his method of entry.
Credit to Bjergsen at the very start of that fight for just throwing both bombs right on Pirean's initial distortion. As the rest of TSM jumps in, he ended up distorting back right onto a stun, which secured the kill. But then, again, TSM messed up their ultimates. Kindred ult and Bjergsen ult not used as another person dies, and it stalls the push before it started.
Once again, miscommunication from TSM is going to cost them a kill and the play that they were trying to set up. Team Impulse are still in this.
Yeah, the start of this one was very pretty. Pirean jumps in, he doubles the second bomb up, Pirean wants to run away, and he actually flashed into a stun because he picked up the first bomb on his distortion return and then picked up the second as he flashed. But then, as we see here, Svenskeren is a little bit low. Chrono Shift is up. Lamb's Respite is up. They don't want to use it because they don't feel like he's in immediate danger, but then he's stunned into a creep. That's when the Zilean ult has to be on him right away. It's not there in time. Team Impulse bursts him out. Bjergsen was instead trying to go offensive with his bombs. It's very hard to play Zilean and balance offense with defense. It failed there for TSM. Now YellowStar caught by Blue, but he's going to have to ult.
Yeah, they're trying to fight. YellowStar gets caught. He goes down too soon. Team Impulse get a revenge kill.
Yeah, and once again, Hauntzer was down bottom trying to split push, but the kill happened. That's exactly the moment where TSM has to disengage, even though YellowStar had his ultimate up. So you do not fix everything overnight, clearly. TSM had communication issues before. They're making them more here. But even with all of that, they still have a 5,000 gold lead trying to hold here. Tip trying to come back in the game.
Yeah, the mid-tier 1 is going to go down despite a great bomb from Bjergsen. Hauntzer looking for the flank from the side. This is 5v4, and they're continuing to chase forward. True Shot finds Bjergsen. He's stunned up. Will he be able to save himself in time? There's nobody. He does drop it in time. There goes the Tempered Fate. He will pop the Chrono Shift, and Team Impulse haven't lost anyone yet. Svenskeren in the front line. He has the respite back off of cooldown. Hauntzer with the flash puts on a killing spree.
Yeah, Hauntzer is the guy.
Oh, DoubleLift!
Nice flash by
Whoa,
Double.
Another flash rocket nets a kill. That one's going to be dodged by Procxin.
There we go. They put it together. Team Impulse stays really far on that one, and you can see how difficult it is for Team Impulse to actually kill TSM there as Bjergsen ults himself, and then on the follow-up, Svenskeren then puts down the Lamb's Respite to stop it. Everyone on Team Impulse has to go back if they did not die, and TSM gets the Baron, and now a big lead in the game.
This is TSM swinging forward. They've got all of the pieces. They just need to put it together into a cohesive unit and secure it.
It is a process.
Yes, it most certainly is.
Team Impulse trying to put it all together as well. Let's look at what they're able to do here. So the turret, they get caught with a 3-man double stun and then stay for the turret. At this point, they need to run straight away. And Feng actually thinks about a turn here. Even though Team Impulse is all sitting at half health, they should have just been falling straight back because, like you said, it was a 4v5, so they thought they saw the power play, but all ultimates were really up for TSM here. Mainly, it's Hauntzer who does most of the work in this fight, flashing to finish off the LeBlanc. That gets rid of the majority of the threat, and flashing over the Bard Q is the big moment there for DoubleLift to time that final kill of the fight.
And we've heard from DoubleLift before, you know, he hasn't been feeling like himself. He's been missing flashes over Orianna shockwaves. It seems like he's found his groove once again.
That was a good 2-0 in flash. 13 kills in the game against Renegades, although he said he doesn't like getting that many kills in the game.
Oh,
there's the package.
Package is used. DoubleLift leads the charge. But TSM not quite able to find it. They've still got Baroned up minions charging forward with them.
Yeah, here we go. So there's all ultimates up for Team Impulse. And TSM is going to try and set up the split push. They have a pretty large gold lead, 6,000. Split push doesn't work instantly. But you wonder if they're going to be able to get anything into the base here. It'd be interesting to see how well Feng can wave clear against the Fiora. How well TSM can stop the poke, but they get Pirean.
Oh, Pirean is caught. He's almost certainly going to go down. DoubleLift with another kill as TSM dive. Tempered Fate buys them time. Hauntzer has joined up. There goes the Lamb's Respite. Feng has walked out of it. He's going down. Bjergsen nets the kill, and TSM are not stopping. The inhibitor turret goes down.
Yeah, well, they currently have Baron as well, so the fact that they've killed both solo lanes of Team Impulse gives them a pretty large window. They're going to play it safe, though. There's a lot of standing gold left in that top lane they want to go pick up.
Methodical play from TSM, sticking to a base strategy as now they rotate to the top tier 2. Procxin's going to try to defend, but TSM are lying in wait.
Yeah, they're hoping to catch him in a rotation here, but it's a 4-1 so far from TSM. Indefensible with only 3 people, so basically Team Impulse has to pick one lane to defend, and they pick the one with the closer inhibitor.
Hauntzer is looking for that bottom inhibitor. It's up to Gate to defend it all by his
That's
lonesome.
not
There goes the teleport. They're going to start trying to break this turret. Bjergsen flashes for a couple double bombs, not quite able to get them. Hauntzer, meanwhile, has broken the bottom inhibitor, and TSM are undaunted, charging forward. Teleport was even canceled.
Yeah, this ending is looking pretty clean for TSM because they're about to clean 3 inhibitors off of one fight in the mid game, properly calling after the team fight win to go to the side lane. So they're actually looking for a game-ending push right here.
Yeah, Hauntzer leads the minions forward. They're going to try to pick it up. Another kill for Hauntzer. And with Mash still dead, that's a lot of wave clear missing. Pirean goes down. In addition, Svenskeren nets the kill. 2 Nexus turrets are dropping. TSM are going to take the win as they look for the Nexus, but not after getting a few kills to top it off.
Yeah, final teleport swag from Hauntzer at the end. 11 kills to 6. TSM take this one home. Yeah, you can see TSM still not super elated, but that was cleaner than their games last week, who were both against 1-win teams. Team Impulse was a 3-win team, so harder opponent.
You could see them smiling there, and I think that's really important for them after this win, having that confidence, because they took the 2 wins last week and they just looked devastated, like, oh man, we won.
Yeah, you could tell there was a better finish to this game. The way it ended is definitely encouraging for Team Solomid, because they did not end the previous 2 games on an upward note. But here, even though they had some misplays in the first 25 minutes, the last 6 minutes or so of this game when they were able to take the team fights, bait Pirean in a few times, and then the final split push was really clean and really decisive, and the game ended quickly, which is what TSM wants to be able to do.
Yeah, they still did show a few mistakes, but definitely looking much improved. Team Impulse put up a very strong fight over the course of the game. We saw Mash go for a very high damage build and actually netted a lot of his kills. 6 out of 6 kill participation. So he was with his team.
Participation. It's hard to participate in many more of those kills. And so he does 15,000 damage on the game. Not terrible. DoubleLift topped the charts there with 20,700.
So with that, that's actually going to put TSM at 6-3 in the standings. After completing the gauntlet, they beat 2 out of every 3rd opponent. That ties them for 2nd.
Not bad.
Pretty solid.
Right? It's tough because you have a team like Immortals who has been beating everyone, and we're going to get to see in our next game if they can end the first half of the season undefeated. But they're tied with CLG for 2nd place, so fairly familiar territory for TSM, even though everything is new for this team. Their spot in the standings, even though they're talking about all the adversity they're having to face, like, a lot of teams would kill for that 6-win, 3-loss adversity, right? Oh man, really sucks. We lost 1/3 of our games.
No.
They haven't been as good as people like. It's because the expectations are just so high.
Exactly.
For TSM, but they are still a 2nd-place team in North America.
Yeah, and bringing in their sports psychologist to help them get through this sort of, hey, we need to be good mentality and properly recover from it.
It'll be really interesting to see them with their 2nd game against CLG this season, because they opened the season against CLG, who had defeated them in the previous finals, although it was pretty much just Bjergsen at this point when they switch over. And being able to win that second game when they got beaten pretty handily in week 1 would be a good reaffirmation that the work they have been putting in would be worth it. That's going to be a game I'm really looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, should be exciting. But now for an inside perspective on